So the first thing to decide is what kind of project we're working on. Are you making a game? Does it have simulation? Does it have animation? Are you going to be walking around? Or is it more like a film and it has some virtual production presets, camera settings, and things like that? Architecture, automotive, simulation. So normally I would go with either games and I would go with blank because I like to kind of walk around the scene like a game. So that's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to click on blank and then create. So I'm going to type here the name, modular. Now notice this, when you click spacebar, it's going to give you an error because it doesn't like to have spaces. So underscore. All right, now that it's created, the beginning information that you need to start with, hold Alt and you move with the left mouse button this way. Now, if you use the right mouse button while the Alt is held down, that would be zoom in, zoom out. Then if you use the pan, this is one of the culture shocks that you will get if you're coming from Maya or any other software, 3D software. And the thing is, once you get used to it, you will feel that this is the one that makes a lot more sense. So if you hold down the Alt and you move with the middle mouse button, you actually move in the direction that the middle mouse button is moving, which is the opposite of 3D software. Now, the other thing is that I really like about that, I think something that I used to enjoy in 3ds Max is that once you start with that middle mouse button, you're not limited to where the mouse goes, meaning that you don't go like this way and then you start over and then you start over. God, it's like Maya had decades to get rid of that and do something more intuitive where you're not limited to the mouse movement, meaning that it goes into an infinite loop. So you don't even have to start here like you do in Maya. Instead, you can even start like somewhere here, and then you can just keep on going wherever you want to go. That is with the Alt held down. Okay. Now, if you click with the left mouse button, you would notice that it has this kind of walk mode. While holding the left mouse button, you can walk backwards and forward. You can turn around, all right? If you hold the middle mouse button, another culture shock, you do not actually need to hold the Alt. Although I know that many of you is going to still, no, I'm gonna keep holding the Alt because I'm used to it, right? And with the right mouse button in this case, just to toggle back here, Alt and right mouse button is zoom in. But without the Alt, and you just have the right mouse button, you actually kind of look around, which is different than the left mouse button, because the left mouse button, as I mentioned, is like walking. So you can do just kind of fixed rotation, meaning you cannot look up, fixed rotation and movement forward and backward. The right mouse button, again, without Alt, you look around and without any restrictions. All right. So let's say I want to create, this is for 3D artists, this is what really orients us, right? We want to create geometry. We want to see geometry first, and then we're going to feel that we are actually in a scene. So I'm going to click on this cube plus, and then I'm going to go into shapes. Let's say I'm going to start with a cube, especially if you're a Blender person, the cube tends to be your best sense of orientation. So because it's built into the starting of any project, right? So if you click the W, just like Maya, for instance, it gives you that translation. If you click the E, that gives you the rotation. If you click the R, it gives you the scale. Now, one of the things that, you know, just gonna give you a precaution here. You're gonna get spoiled with some of the easy things that Unreal makes it available for you. Like, for instance, in Maya, if you want to snap the rotation 15 degrees, you'd have to hold down J. But in Unreal, look at this. It's just wonderful to look at to begin with, right? And it's already snapped on, so you don't have to kind of like figure out how to activate the snapping. You can actually click and go right or left, and you can also click and go down, 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 down. Also no restrictions. So that's pretty awesome. All right, so facing the other side here so we can get some lighting going on. So in terms of snapping, if you want to turn on or off the snapping, if you're moving the translation, as you can see, it snaps basically to grid. If you rotate, it snaps 10 degrees. And when it comes to scale, it snaps with this amount. So as you can see here, snapping to 10 units of grid and 10 degrees and 0.25 of scale. So here's the scale, 0.25 of the scale. To turn these off, you just turn them off. So now you can scale without any snapping, rotate without any snapping and rotation. Okay, so let's stop here for the first bit and just consider this as the very starting video.